Street on the Roundabout here in Johnsburg. I consider myself a functional neurologist and not a chiropractor because the nervous system doesn't just control pain. That's only 15% of the body. It controls how we breathe. It controls our digestion. It controls a lot of things. So I have certifications in gentle chiropractic techniques, so I don't do the cracking and the popping and things people think of chiropractic for. I do really gentle techniques. I have a certification in pediatrics, pregnancy. My oldest patient's 100 right now, so yes, I've had several patients that made it into their, like 99, I had a couple. I had one patient that made it to 101, so that was pretty awesome. And I've helped them with their quality of life. So chiropractic is not just for pain or back pain or the average person, but from preborn pregnancy all the way, like I said, to the elderly. I'm about quality of life and vibrancy. I don't want you to just survive. I want you to thrive. And so that's kind of my holistic approach. Now, a little bit different about me is that I also talk about lifestyle. I talk about nutrition, all kinds of other things, not just to get you out of pain, but I want you to be healthy and have a healthy future. So we try to pair up with this health and wealth series because we feel our country's in crisis. We don't save enough in our money. We're very unhealthy with our money, and we're very unhealthy with our bodies right now in our culture. So I have my little PowerPoint of your health and healthy life, exit this way. So we're going to go into that. A little thing too is I do have a book in the library here. I did publish a book 2 years ago called The Journey to Vibrant Health. And I did that because it was just all my side advice that I give in the office to try to inspire people to make good choices, and people that don't even realize that these kind of everyday things affect their health. And so it's great now, so I can just say read chapter 3 because I'm sick of saying it over and over again. Read chapter 3. So, but that I do have a copy here in the library, and I do have a couple copies if anybody's interested. So, first off, I always like to start off and go ask what is health? Have you thought about really what is health in our society? Right now, everybody some people think it's getting a flu shot. Some people think it's refilling your medicine. Some people think it's going to the gym. Some people think keto diet right now is really popular. So what do you guys think? What is health? I got feeling good up here. That's the common answer you answer, right? Everybody wants to feel good. You can feel good on cocaine, but that doesn't make it healthy, right? Right? Am I right? So that's not really healthy. That's not a good definition. Living without pain, which I said before, we could have, there's so many people, just in the last, 15 years of my practice that just heard of a family member, or I've actually had a patient, thought she felt good, she worked out, she was very good in her social life, volunteered in the food pantry, did a lot of things. One day her eyes turned yellow, her white of her eyes turned yellow. She went into the doctor, found out she had pancreatic cancer. She was dead in 3 months. So that's common stories now. She didn't feel her pancreas. You don't feel your pancreas. She didn't know she had tumors in there. So that is something, that we don't, that's part of the body we don't feel. And so I always try to focus on, overall and do other parameters to see how the body's functioning holistically. Are you living medication free? I have some people who have made it to their 80s without medication, believe it or not. The average person over 65 is on approximately 12 medications right now. So it's pretty crazy, right? And like Donna said, we are living longer. Unfortunately, we're living longer artificially through these means. Are you flexible? Is that your definition of health? I can touch my toes, so therefore I'm good. I've had people come in and say that. Or are you optimally? Are you vibrant? Are you able to play with, your children, your grandchildren? Those kind of things. That's where I want. I want to live to be into my 90s and be healthy. So that's another reason why I saw, Donna and work for my finances to make sure I have money to do the things I want to do. So I always like to talk about the primary definition of health. So health is defined as physical, mental, social, spiritual well-being, not just the absence of disease, symptoms, or any ailments or any of that kind of stuff. So it's functioning all over. So, and that's why in my book I say a journey, because it's never like you might be going to the gym 3 times a week, but maybe something else is going on emotionally, some crisis in the family or things like that. So it's kind of always in flux. You kind of have to stay and try to figure out where you need to put your energy. There is a myth, there's no such thing as balance. It's counterbalance. How you react to change. It's always going to be something going on in your life. It's just part of the way it is. The other definition is about all systems, organs, cells in the body working optimally. So that's what I try to make sure of in my practice, to try to help people with that. So the comparison. So I kind of took her size. She showed me her size, and I like the comparisons. So health versus disease, right? We got this two ends of the spectrum a lot of times, okay? And so our society is focused on disease, right? We see commercials for this drug and that drug. We see all these things. We're focused on cures for the cancer. And actually, when we focus on health, we focus on prevention, right? Ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. You've heard that quote before, I'm sure. So it's kind of like when you walk into, say this room was dark, would you focus on the darkness or would you try to find a light?
Light.
Right. Because right away, when you focus on the light, darkness goes away, correct? When you increase the light, darkness goes away. Same with health. When we focus on health, when we focus on trying to make the body healthier, automatically that body works better, disease goes down, disease goes away. So our culture, I think, is focusing on the wrong things. So we should be focusing more on prevention. And don't get me wrong, I have seen a shift in the last couple of years that we're focusing more on prevention. So, what are your health goals? Do you have any health goals? Have you thought about just your health? So I usually do an exercise that I say, okay, I want you to sit down and write down, okay, if you rated your health right now on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate it? And where do you want to be by the end of the year or by next year this time? Okay? And then I say, okay, under that, name 5 things that you can possibly do. Little things, drinking more water, which we'll go into some of that. Whatever action steps that you could take to make your body a little bit healthier. Okay? And, what is your health journey? What do you want your health journey to look like? Do you want to be on all these medications later on in life? Do you want to be artificially, kept alive? Or do you want that vibrancy? So, this is your body right now? Is that, this is like our house, is like our bodies, right? And this is when I usually see people come in, when they're like this, and they're like, Doc, I can't move. And they're like, but there was twitches like 3 months ago, but I took some Advil and I took some stuff, but it was okay, it was good enough to get me by, but now I can't move anymore. So they wait till it's burning down. Or we wait till the heart attack before we decide to change our diet. Or we wait, all these kind of different things, right? We're in a crisis-driven society. When they rated all the countries, like I think they did 84 countries, and they rated, how each country was doing in healthcare. And they, for crisis care, how do you think America did for crisis? Like you get in a car accident, you have a heart attack. How good are we at taking care of people? We're pretty good. We're really good. So we're really great at crisis care. Prevention or chronic care, how do you think we did? Low. We got a big divide. Big divide in our country. So I say, like this picture, as we are needed. The emergency room is needed. All these other processes are needed for those crises. But we've gotten exponentially worse every year on that in our country. What I do and us holistic practitioners do is we focus on maintenance. So the crisis care is like the firefighters. They come in and they're gonna, do whatever they take to save the house, to save the people in the house, save the animals in the house. They're gonna knock down the doors. They're gonna do all these things, douse it down, ruin sometimes some things in the process, just to save whatever they need to save, right? But then they leave, right? So us holistic practitioners should be more focused on. We're like, let's the maintenance. We're the ones like, oh, the gutters are getting clean. Oh yeah, that electric doesn't look so good. Let's make sure to rehab that. Let's change those outlets. Let's do these things. Let's stay on this. That's the food that we need to feed the body. We need to repaint and keep renourishing the house, right? Same with our bodies. And that's what I focus on. So what does it take to really create a healthy body? And if we had a wilted plant, like in the corner of the room, what would you do to it? Would you put drugs on it? No. It's common. It's like, okay, does it need more water? Does it need some more nutrients in the soil? You know, what does it need? Does it need some more sunlight? Maybe it's in the dark corner and it needs more light. You know, what if it's like there's some like dust on it, or you know there's some pollution of vents blowing on it or something and blowing some dust and things like that. So it's very easy to think about a plant, but why don't we think of our own bodies that way? When we're wilted, why don't we turn to these kind of things like, oh, are we drinking enough water? Are we getting enough nutrients in? Are we getting, you know, we know right here in our, you know, Illinois, especially with the horrible winter we had, deficient in vitamin D. I mean, every patient, yeah, the doctor said I'm deficient in vitamin D in the blood work. I'm like, yeah, welcome to the club, you know. So pretty much, you know, making sure you're getting those nutrients in. Okay. And then we go back to, this is actually out a couple years ago, Time came out with DNA. They were talking about why your DNA isn't your destiny. So we had talked about how, you know, we have DNA and everybody's trying to blame it on our genes. And we do have right now, you know, tests. I do actually, new test I'm offering in my office is a DNA test that tests for like all these weaknesses for like Alzheimer's and, you know, the breast cancer gene and all these genes that they talk about. But the way this lab does it is they say, we know this is a kind of a weakness in your gene system, but we know if you do so much magnesium, if you do so much omega oils a day, if you do so much, it actually protects that gene from being expressed, so we can help you, that negative part of your gene not be expressed. So it's actually the environment that we place on our genes that actually causes if that gene's going to be expressed or not. So I have a lot of times that you can have twins who have identical twins, identical gene pool, and one would get the breast cancer and one won't. Well, one was a smoker, one drank soda every day, one did all these, you know, didn't exercise. The other one was, you know, a health nut and exercise and ate her 5 to 7 fruits and vegetables and all this every day. So she never got the breast cancer, but the other one did because the stress that the body got into it couldn't handle to overcome that negativity in that gene. So genes aren't our destiny. We have some control and some responsibility on how we treat our genes and how we treat our body. So Donna went into, you know, a lot of that, you know, short-term and long-term, sometimes in investments and things like, you know, you have some things we can invest in now and some things we have to plan for, we have to save for, we have to be resistant onto. So, you know, how are you treating your body? Are you investing in the future of like what you want? You know, I have so many people that, you know, I want that cake now, and I don't like, I'll be honest, my husband's like, he's like, I'm gonna play now, I'm gonna die anyway, you know, like I'm like, yeah, but you're not gonna be feeling too great, you know, later on. Like, I'm like, okay, yes, have a little fun once in a while, but not all the time, you know, you can't just abuse that system. So, you know, are you taking that? So, you know, the continuum of life is we're born and we grow. And kids are great to work with. They're just so great because, you know, they adapt so well. And then we, you know, get to a point where we're just maintaining and adapting. And we're going to adapt better the better we treat our bodies, okay? And then it's, you know, then it is death. We are going to die. I'm not going to prevent, like I'm not preventing this elderly people that I treat. You know, I'm not preventing, but you know what? I'm giving them better quality of life by seeing them. You know, she's still my 100-year-old patient, she's still able to get up and use her walker. She's still living at home by herself. She's still with it. She was one of the people too that she worked for a big corporation for 25 years, and she retired, and she's still living off that money at 100 years old and got her own home and still like that. So they took her license away about 5 years ago. But she got lost at night one time, and the kids are like, no more. So, but she still, you know, it's really cool to talk to her. But you know what, let's continue. How do you want to go through that? You know, she was saying you got this and then you have this, the decline. How fast do you want to decline, you know? So really it comes down to like, who is responsible for your health? You know, is it your family? You know, is it your health insurance right now? Oh my gosh, you know, well I'm paying so much of my health insurance, so they gotta dictate what doctor I go to and that nonsense, and no, sorry, you're gotta be your own advocate. You know, is it your doctor? You know, we're merely just advisors. We're just here to help you along your journey. Or is it you? You are responsible. So that is like, let's see, yeah, that's all. So we're going to try to keep these nice and sweet, short and sweet for you guys. I appreciate you coming out tonight. So questions for me? do you have? And you can doing that. Thanks for joining us on Facebook Live. Hopefully you can hear me.